Hello, anyone out there? Welcome to the stream. Where playing more Crystalline, the isekai visual novel where some random nobody falls into a magical world and needs to do magic. So, we get back to our world or his world or whatever. I don't know. And I don't know, the way he meets a lot of cute, strange girls. So, you know, your basic isekai plot and progression. They're whatever. At this point, we've gotten to a forest, which I think I did get to this part before, and I think the Earth Temple is here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so let's just keep going.
What?
The Pongo leader nods.
Poi. 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 It would seem the Pongos have escorted us to the temple we seek.
How would they know? Can they understand us?
More than likely. Our Pongo friend inquired as to the reason for the migration of so many Pongos in one area. He must have been curious about their source of energy, which just happens to be the Earth Temple.
Makes sense. I narrow my eyes at Amelia. This seems very coincidental. Do you speak Pongo?
No, but that rationale should be common sense.
You really should. Zack snorts and tries to cover it up. I look back at the temple. It clearly hasn't been touched in a long time, and half of it is falling apart. Is it safe to go in there? Kara seems excited.
Only one way to find out.
She marches towards the temple.
But what about the Pongos? Won't they be upset?
Especially considering they tend to absorb the energy. Yeah, I don't think they would like that very much.
The temples were built over areas of naturally high concentrations of energy, so the temples continuously amass energy at an accelerated rate. Therefore, the amount which we will absorb will be replenished fast enough to not adversely affect the Pongo's ecosystem.
Why don't people live near these pockets of continuous energy? That would kind of make sense.
The only energy we are able to manipulate is extracted from crystals. This form of energy, which resides in the air, cannot be manipulated or absorbed by humans. Humans of Terra, that is. In contrast, Pongos are able to absorb all forms of energy, including airborne.
I see. No, I don't see. Well, either way, it sounds like the Pongos will be okay. Liana nods, and we follow Kara. The Pongos make no move to stop us, but continue to watch us curiously.
Come on!
We approach the temple's entrance. The temple structure, at least what remains of it, reminds me of the one from the Fire Temple. It's built with an open front, and I can see where the altars may have stood in the past. Now it's just weathered stone. The columns are still holding up, and I watch them. I watch them precariously, untrusting of their stability. I don't think that's the right usage of that word. Because if something is precarious, that's like... Oh, maybe. It's like something precariously, like... hanging precariously, standing for precariously, like... close to falling, like... in an unstable, risky position. Yeah? Like the columns themselves may be in precarious positions because they're unstable, but or they seem unstable, but you would watch them warily? Something like that. I think that's what they were going for. That's weird. Vibrant green mass camouflages the grey stones. I have to admit, the view is quite impressive. Kara takes the lead and steps carefully on the stones, obviously testing for traps. The rest of us hang back and let her explore without distraction. Liana holds onto the pongo, just eager to explore with Kara. After circling through a temple, she returns to us perplexed.
Based on the design of the Fire Temple, I figured the Earth Temple would have more traps. Or even just one trap, but I found 0.
Then we should definitely stay on our guard.
Are you doubting my abilities?
No! I just meant...
I know. I'm just teasing.
Zack grumbles and crosses his arms. Amelia steps up to the temple and starts to have a careful look around the rest. A look around. The rest of us slowly filter in too. The pongo hops out of Liana's arms and bounces excitedly into the temple. Amy fidgets with Airman's behavior, much to the curiosity of Liana.
What are you checking?
I am searching for any anomalies in these magical readings. The barrier from the last temple resonated a unique signature. If such a thing were to exist here as well, it is highly likely to lead us to the Earth Elemental.
Ara shakes her head in wonder.
I still can't believe the elementals are real.
I wouldn't jump so fast to that conclusion.
Seriously? Did you forget about our journey to the Fire Temple?
I didn't. But I don't remember me or the rest of you seeing the fire elemental. Except him.
Zack gives me a pointed look.
He wouldn't have a reason to lie about it.
So you say.
Exposure to large quantities of magical energy can potentially cause hallucinations. There have been documented cases of such events transpiring.
I'm not from here. Anything is possible. You have a dude who traveled here through a temporal rift from a parallel world and can directly absorb energy. I'm pretty sure anything is impossible. Anything is possible. Wow, that was stupid.
Fair point.
Amelia looks at her together.
There appears to be a strange pattern regarding energy distribution.
A sudden rumble from above breaks our attention. The rock shift precariously. See, that's... maybe... did someone just learn that word or something? The rock shift precariously, then crack and come crashing down above me.
Look out!
Liana tackles his boat out of the way just as the rock smashes down, leaving a heavy split in the stone from the ground. I land hard and my body erupts in aches.
Are you okay?
Me? What about me? Liana props herself up on top of me and peers down with a worried look. I'm not sure I should say that. From what I've heard, it's a trap. I'm not sure I should be saying that.
Sorry. I channeled my wind energy into reaching you in time, and I didn't even think about softening the landing.
Stare her. You just saved my life, and you're apologizing over something like that. Leona looks a little surprised, but then she lets out a smile. Are you okay?
Yeah, thankfully the brunt of my fall was broken by...
Her voice trails off and her cheeks redden. When she realizes she's straddling him, she quickly perks herself up. Oh, what a crazy and wild situation. Okay, but like... Why? Why should they say that? Like, that's so weird. To just like come up to someone and like... They... Just say like, say this. I mean, it's like... I was a child. Like, I went to school with other children who did this exact same thing, and it was always like a joke or a prank on me, or the person being like made to say these things. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand people sometimes. I didn't actually mind this being like that. These are very perfect. I wince as I carefully push myself to my feet. Leona's attention is on the mountain of rocks, sectioning us off from the rest of the team.
Hey, can you guys hear us?
Kara's voice is muted from the other side of the rock wall. I mean, I would say it's very muted. We're fine. What happened?
The structure collapsed from the instability of the ruins. I would advise caution moving forward.
Okay, like... I mean... I would understand that if it was like gibberish, or if it was something that was meant to be... like meant to sound like it was something else, or like something, and that would be funny. But like, if it really has no meaning, I mean, well, it does have a meaning. I mean, the point being, I know there's some sort of meaning to it. I don't know exactly what it is though. But like, I just know I shouldn't freely say it.
Hoi poi?
Wait, wait. Pongo's voice is very small. Pongo.
Don't worry. He's safe here with us.
Speaking of moving, how are we gonna get these stones moved?
Stand to the side. I'll move them with my magic.
Leona motions. Leona motions me to move back and I comply. Her gauntlet flickers to life as she channels her wind energy. Good, finally. At first the rocks refuse to budge, but Leona keeps trying. Sweat beads in her sweat beads on her face as she concentrates. But even after a few more attempts, she's unable to move any of the rocks to break the wall. Well, that's not good.
I can't seem to move any of the stones.
The frustration is evident in her voice. It's weird that she can't move any of the stones at all. I hear some shuffling on the other end. I assume it's Amy using her manipulator to scan.
Interesting. It appears these are no ordinary stones. They are shielded with magic.
What does that mean?
the magic they are shielded with are dampening any other outside magical efforts.
That's not good.
However, in light of this new information, I am able to adjust the type of reading necessary to override the wall's magic block. By doing so, I am able to plot out the navigation of this temple as the ruins emit energy. Based on our current locale, our paths will converge in a short time if we move further in.
Alright. That doesn't sound like it should make sense. Hey, but it's magic, so I guess it really has no rules. If they don't want it to. That sounds like a plan to me. Sure, I
Let's
guess.
get going then.
Lena and I look at each other and we start heading in the direction Amy provided. We stay close together and keep a cautious eye on our surroundings. Leona periodically checks their manipulator. Looking for something?
I'm following Amy's energy signature to make sure we're both going in the same direction. So far, we're still on the right path, and should be converging with them soon enough.
Cool. That's good. Put my hands behind my head. Hey, forgot to thank you earlier for saving me. Thanks. Neon smiles.
You did the same for me.
Really?
Raven Pass, remember? When we fought the treasurer.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got rocked. I guess so, but I only pushed you out of the way back then. In hindsight, I probably should have also dived out of the way too, instead of, you know, eating the blast full force. Also dived. Should be dove? I also dove out of the way. Or is that a word?
Moving out of the way would have been a better idea, but it was heroic nonetheless. Besides, you find yourself in trouble so often that saving you has kind of become second nature.
Well, that's not nice. Oops. Wow, rude. Is it bad that I'm like... sort of like predicting, or like, coming up with the lines, kind of like as they come? Because it either means I'm thinking like this character, which really doesn't say anything nice about me, or it just means this writing is like super predictable. Which I guess is fine, but also there's gonna be a very boring, like, 20 hours or however long it's gonna take me to get through this thing. She seems to be in better spirits as we continue traveling. We turn a corner and find ourselves in a slightly open area. I notice a bit of movement from the corner of my eyes, but when I look over, all I see are the same mossy vines which are covering the entrance of the temple. Covering the entrance of the temple too. That's strange.
The energy reading here is higher than usual.
Oh, I think... Oh, okay. This must be... Alright, I'm gonna have to... What's up? Leona goes to draw her sword.
It's not dormant like everywhere else. I'm scanning active energy here.
Gasp. Before I can react, vines shoot up from the stones of the ruins and converge straight towards Yana. She gasps and attempts to swing at the incoming vines, but there are too many of them. As they entangle her limbs, she loses the grip on her sword, and it clatters to the ground.
What is this?
Okay, yeah, since this is... I know this isn't, like, explicit or anything, but, like, just in case. I know Twitch can be weird about this stuff. I probably should... Okay. For some reason, the vines only target Liana. For some reason. And have kept the birth around me. Maybe the trap was only sensitive to energy manipulation. Thankfully, I wasn't casting. Liana struggles to break free in vain as the vines lift her off the ground.
Help me down!
I pull out my sword, but the vines twist and tangle around each other, which makes Liana a moving target too. The last thing I want to do is accidentally cut her as I'm trying to cut the vines. It might be best that I wait, right? Oh well. The two choices. Help free her, or hold on, let's see where this goes. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay, help free her. Because we don't want to be those people. Oh, okay, so it... Oh, that's nice then. I dash forward and with skillful precision, slice down the vines. As my sword cuts through the vines, they writhe and shrink away from Liana until she's able to wriggle free. Unfortunately, more vines emerge and head straight for me. I cut them as they approach, but there are too many of them, and I struggle to keep up. Just as the vines are about to encircle me, I spot the familiar glow of a blade carve trails of light through the vines. Liana's a blur as she methodically slices the vines with an accuracy and speed I strive to mimic. Before long, all the vines lay in motionless pieces on the ground. Well then.
This never happened. Got it?
She glares at me despite her burning cheeks. Yes, ma'am.
Let's hurry up and get going then.
Liana doesn't wait for me as she continues down the path. I jog to catch up to her. Liana is extra cautious and keeps her blade at the ready as we continue down the path. Thankfully, without further incident, we spot the rest of the group waiting for us on the converging path.
You guys made it!
Boy!
The Pongo bounces over to me and leaps into my arms. Hey, buddy. There are beams and waves of silver. She blinks when she gets a better look at us.
Whoa. Did something happen?
Liana clears her throat as a slow pink tinges her cheeks.
Nothing at all. Isn't that right?
She shoots me a warning glare. Right, nothing. Her looks back and forth between us and then grins.
Oh, I get it. I mean, you two were alone after all.
Liana's cheeks flare.
No, it's not what you're thinking.
Right. Nothing happened.
Liana mumbles something incoherent as she pushes past Car.
What is with everyone's overly active imaginations today?
The group looks to me for answers. Yeah. Nothing happened. Let's get going.
I concur. It would be advisable not to spend any more time than necessary here.
All right, let's go.
Poi poi.
Don't worry about it. The Pungo shrugs as he hops into my head. Okay, how is that thing supposed to shrug? It doesn't have shoulders. It doesn't have arms. It doesn't have anything. It's just a blob. With Leona leaned away, we continue moving forward. We continue down the path of the Earth Temple. Temple, click the items in the displayed order. I did one like this before and I failed, so let's see how this goes. Okay, did right this time. We finally make it to the core of the temple. I wonder what that was supposed to, determine. The center of the temple is a lot different than the rest of the place. For one, it's not crumbling apart. Birds flutter across the sky, and there is a lush greenery all around. Sitting in the middle of the garden is a beautiful woman. Cool. Her dress is the same green as the plants, and there's something about her that feels warm, inviting, and alive. The sounds and voices of my friends fade away as I'm filled with the tranquility and beauty of nature surrounding me. But isn't that nice? She raises her hand, and at her touch, I feel a sense of calm and peace. Just like at the fire temple, I can feel the revitalizing effect of the energy absorption. The more energy absorbed, the more translucent the elemental becomes, until with a small smile, she disappears. So that's it then, that just happens. Cool. Slowly the scenic nature view fades from my senses, and I pull back to the crumbling ruins of the temple and the curious faces of my friends. Amy and Leona hover by me as the Pongo looks up at me from the ground.
Poi?
His pupil dilation is returning to normal.
Are you feeling okay? You completely zoned out there.
I look. I still feel dazed as the remnants of tranquility begin to fade.
Did you see the Earth Elemental?
I did. This time though, it felt different. When the energy was channeling into me at the fire temple, I felt a rush of passion and strength. This time, I felt more of a sense of peace and calmness.
I can confirm you did absorb a substantial quantity of energy. However, your mention of feeling emotions based on absorbing differing elemental energy is quite fascinating.
But really, it's like the most basic shit ever.
It is something which has never been reported before, given that humans of Terra cannot absorb energy. Once your senses have fully returned to normal, I would appreciate discussing in greater detail what exactly you experienced during the actual absorption of energy.
Sure, we can talk about it later. But where is Sankara? As if on cue, the two of them appear, each holding bags filled with what I would assume is whatever loot could be found.
Don't mind us. We just went on a little all-you-can-grab treasure buffet.
She grins and opens her pouch. To hand something to Amy.
Here, I found this.
She hands Amelia an ancient tome.
I figured you might be interested in this sort of thing.
Amy carefully turns the pages of the book with great interest.
This is written in ancient Gaian script, a language of which I have studied, but of which I am not fluent.
Weird. It will take me some time to translate it using my references, but the content should be most academic. She smiles at Kara.
Thank you.
Kara pats her on the head.
You're most welcome.
A rebel above interrupts us. We all tense up and go on high alert, but no rock slide occurs this time.
It looks like we got everything we need from here. Let's head out before another cave-in blocks our exit.
We all agree and, still on high alert, make our way out of the temple as quickly as we can. When we get out of the temple and back into the forest, the sunlight shimmers through the trees, making me wince and blink. Yana lets out a deep, relieved breath.
We made it.
Now that we have successfully made it through the temple, let us not forget our purpose for coming here.
We look at Amelia with curiosity. She gestured to me.
His energy reading has increased substantially. Perhaps it is now possible for him to open a temporal rift.
You want to try that now? A grin spreads across Amelia's face.
Indeed.
This place is pretty barren. I suppose we can try it here. Kara blinks.
Oh, you're doing that again.
She shuffles away and away and away until she's behind the tree.
Keeping watch again?
You know it.
Zachary took a bit of distance too, but not as much as Kara. Lena and Amelia look at me.
Are you ready?
Kara's voice is far away.
Wait!
She reaches back, scoops up the pongo, who gives a little squeak of protest and sprints back to her tree. Finally, she gives a thumbs up.
Okay, good to go.
Alright, let's try it. Just do what you did last time, except now you can focus and channel your energy.
Amelia, who is standing beside her, nods. I close my eyes and I try to focus on creating the rift. I bring up in my mind the images of what I saw when I first entered Terra. I inhale and exhale slowly as I try to draw in on that peace I felt when I met the Earth Elemental. I remember the scent of wildflowers, the fluttering of birds, and the creaking of trees. It fills me with a soft, gentle calm that spreads throughout the rest of my body. An odd, tranquil stillness fills my mind.
Keep going. Visualize your cast.
My brows furrow. I see a dark shape peeling away at the sky. What does that even mean? And suddenly, a hot surge of energy flushes down my arm. There's a loud crack, followed by a hiss. I open my eyes. A churning wind pours out of my manipulator and swirls about the dirt and grass. The trees groan and sway. I try to keep the wind stable, but it's just too strong. The muscles in my arms strain with effort. The wind whips about Leona's hair and clothes. My cast is more powerful than before, but still unrefined.
You are nervous and panicking. Ease your mind and calm yourself.
Yes. Use the force. Let it flow through you. And all that other junk. Right, don't panic. Don't panic. My heart lurches. Anxiety coils in my stomach.
You may stop now.
I do as she says. The wind swells and then smooths to a gentle breeze. The last bit of it skims through the grass and then vanishes, quick as a butterfly flutter. Well, aren't you poetic? My arms dangle at my sides. They feel as if they're being pulled down by heavy weights. I take in deep breaths, my heart still pounding. I cringe and look up at the two. What did I do? Leona hesitates.
That was...
A failure.
Amelia!
Amy blinks in surprise.
Is that not what you're going to say? He was unable to create the rift.
Leona sighs and crosses her arms.
He did better than his first try. He actually cast something this time.
Amelia blinks again.
I see. I suppose there was some improvement.
She taps her chin in thought.
I believe your magic training should involve bettering your accuracy and honing your focus. At this point, we are still unsure if the inability to create the rift is from your lack of energy or technique.
You're right. I puff out a defeated sigh. It seems I still have a long way to go.
Hey, where did Zach go?
Huh? I look up. Zach isn't anywhere in sight. That's weird. I glance around. In the forest, I see a rustle of something black. I squint. Maybe it's Zach's trench coat. I zero in on it to see Zach and Kara peeking behind the same tree. Hey, when did you get all the way back there? Zach's voice is faint.
You couldn't control it. No way was I gonna stand there if you went splat. This coat is not easy to clean.
My jaw gives a little tweak. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Kara grins and claps her hands. She shouts for us to hear her.
You put on quite the show! Glad I wasn't there for it, though.
Fiona frowns.
Okay, it's done now. Can you guys come back?
Kara skips over. Zach follows with his arms crossed.
So, where to next?
According to Elderison's notes, Ellendale is the closest city located to where the ancient people worshipped the air elemental. I believe we will be able to uncover more information from the library there.
Kara smiles and ruffles Amy's hair.
Sounds great, Amy.
Amelia flushes. She coughs and then glances away.
Let us be on our way.
We hike out of the forest and find a new path. Amy leads us north, and we begin traveling on foot for the rest of the day. My legs ache, and by the time the sun starts to disappear, I'm ready to collapse. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects from trying to cast earlier, but all of this walking is making me even more exhausted than usual. We keep walking until we find a good campsite. Leona says the large open space would be a good place for me to practice my wind magic in the morning. Amelia sparks a small campfire for us. Zach cooks up another delicious dinner, and by the time I'm done, I can hardly keep my eyes open. The rest of the group is still up and talking, but as soon as I lay my head down, I tumble into a deep and fast sleep. Do, 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 do. The next day, Leona and I get up bright and early. We decide to practice sparring before the others wake up. Our swords clash with a score of heavy blows. Leona forces me backwards and with a huge grin on her face. I'm breathing hard and struggling to keep up as my brows knit in concentration. Leona sweeps my blade aside and comes back around, but I swing in time to deflect it. Her face brightens, and she seems pleasantly surprised.
Wow, that's great! You're getting much better.
Really? Leona's grin turns devilish.
Hiya!
She lunges and I let out a sharp cry, barely raising my sword in time. Her movements quicken as she strikes harder. I struggled to keep up, but I managed to hold my own. Ultimately, Leona's final move knocked me to the ground. I groaned, thinking up at the sky. It's hard to breathe with the wind knocked out of me. Are our spars always gonna end like this? Leona's face appears over mine. She smiles brightly.
That was so much better.
I lost yet again, though.
This time. But you're getting stronger and stronger every time.
That cheers me up a little. Leona extends her hand and helps me up.
Let's switch gears. You've been doing really well with sparring, so we should practice your magic training. You need to learn to refine your cast.
I know she's right, so I nod. I'm feeling more confident about it now that I know that I can cast. I think back on the countless previous training sessions and the frustrations that came with it. Even though I know I still have much to learn before I reach anywhere near Leona's level, I'm just glad to be past those early stages.
Alright, practice channeling your energy through your manipulator. And this time, keep your focus on where you want to cast.
Bongo. I think of a great idea. I take a deep breath, focusing on the energy coursing through me. A cool trickle of magic surges down my arm. The Pongo wiggles around, trying to get back on the ground. Oops.
What are you doing?
The longer the Pongo stays in the air, the more concerned he becomes, and the harder he struggles. Hey, hold still.
Don't drop him!
I try to keep steady, but the more the Pongo panics, the more difficult it is for me to concentrate and control. Sweat beads on my face as I try to keep the Pongo afloat. Leona rushes closer, and I lose my concentration. The Pongo falls in the air and lands right in Leona's outstretched arms. Leona cuddles him close.
Don't worry, I've got you.
Once the Pongo comes down, Leona lets him go. He hops out of her arms and back to the ground. He does an experimental bounce to make sure he stays grounded, then jiggles happily. Leona smiles as the Pongo shuffles off, then turns to me. Sorry.
Maybe we should pick something more suitable for you to practice on.
Leona looks around and points out a large rock.
Try again on this rock.
I take a deep breath, charging, clearing my mind, and cast again. As usual, a solid gust of wind bursts forth, and I slowly float the rock in the air. Leona cups her hands together, a wide grin on her face.
Yes, that's it!
Hey, I'm doing it! The Pongo glances at the floating rock curiously. In one motion, he jumps right onto the rock. The movement startles me, and the rock jolts in midair. The Pongo wobbles precariously. Again, precariously. And I can feel the nerves set in again as I fight to steady the rock.
It's okay. Don't panic. Just keep your focus. Try to float them towards you.
Alright, it's just heavier now, so I had to adjust my energy output. I breathe in and out and refocus. The rock stops swaying.
Good. Keep going.
A strong breeze wisps around the Pongo, keeping him in place. I close my eyes and picture him floating closer.
You got this.
I open my eyes. The rock with the Pongo floats closer and closer. A huge grin blooms across my face. It's working! The Pongo jumps from the rock onto my head. As soon as the Pongo touches me, I lose my concentration and drop the rock. Leona giggles.
Great job.
The Pongo wiggles on top of my head. Thanks for being a good sport. Leona giggles as I pat the Pongo.
I think that's enough training for today. You've made great progress.
Thanks. I can feel the fatigue start to set in, and I'm grateful to Leona for ending the session.
Let's go rejoin the group.
Yeah, they should all be awake by now, I think. Leona nods, and the three of us return to camp. As I predicted, everyone else is awake, and even have breakfast prepared. After we eat and clean up camp, we resume our journey. After a couple of days' travel, we continued the journey along the path when I noticed thick clouds darken the sky. Currently on a cascade glances above as a loud crack of thunder roils above.
This does not look promising.
We should find shelter. We don't want to be caught in this storm.
Amelia cross-references where we are with Elder Asim's notes.
We are still quite a ways from Allendale.
Then we'd better stop at the next city we see.
I think I have an idea of where we are. If I recall correctly, Wolfston should only be a few hours' travel. We can stop there.
Once agreed, we pick up the pace to combat the strengthening wind, whipping at us and make course for Wolfton. Eventually, we see the tall towers of Wolfton. We shuffle through the city gates, casting worried glances at the ominous sky. The turbulent clouds don't look any less threatening. People keep their heads down as they push past each other on the streets. They must be looking for shelter from the storm. I look at the surrounding buildings. Most are storefronts, which blend into each other as if trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. As we travel deeper into the town, a few opulent buildings loom in the sky. I guess that's where the better half lives. Leona shifts uncomfortably.
Is it just me, or are people staring at us?
Looking around, I notice all the furtive glances towards Leona as people give us a wide berth in passing.
No, they're staring at you.
Zach's comment seems to make her even more anxious. Try to keep her hidden. I step closer to her and try to block her from view. She blinks in surprise and gives me a small smile.
Thanks, but I'm not sure how much that will help.
Zach should put his coat over her or something. I bet it's because she's a mage knight. And there's probably crime going on in this town. Maybe it'll discourage them from staring. Okay,
When you
big ol'
remember what
Machoke.
kind of town Wolfston is, it's no surprise everyone is staring at her.
I give Kara a questioning look. And what sort of town is it?
Let's just say that what happens in Wolfston stays in Wolfston.
Yana covers the sigil on her manipulator with one hand.
Maybe this isn't the best place for me to be advertising that I'm a part of the Mage Guild.
Sakmat.
Agreed. You're making them nervous.
See, it was just like easy to figure out. First, the protagonist wouldn't know because the protagonist is a freaking idiot. The stairs remind me of when I first arrived in Middle Hill. Should we find a change of clothes to blend in more?
That is a satisfactory suggestion, but perhaps it should be executed without the presence of Leanna. The longer she is in the streets, the more attention she draws.
Good point. Let's hurry up and find the inn. Leanna can stay there, and I'll help her find a more suitable outfit.
As the winds pick up, more people creep out of shadowed alleyways as they seek shelter. I instinctively check my pockets. Something about this place has me on edge. Leanna is equally anxious. While Amy's expression doesn't change, she does seem more alert than usual. Only Zack and Kara seem unaffected. Before long, we reach the end. Because they're both like street people. They're both like people who are always alert, always looking for danger, and shady characters. Like, how sheltered do you have to be to not recognize that? Jesus Christ. I let out a relieved breath as the fire crackling in the hearth warms me. Kara and Zack go to secure us rooms and food as the rest of us sit down in a secluded back corner. Although the lobby is full of people, it's more quiet than the other inns we frequented. Most patrons drink alone, and those in groups murmur softly, trying not to draw attention to themselves. We aroused a few curious glances when we walked in, but once we shuffled out of sight, people relaxed and forgot about us. The silence grows stifling as both Yana and Amelia wait for the rest of the group to come back. As I'm wondering if I should say something, Yana addresses Amy.
There's something that I've been wondering since Hearthpoint, but I haven't had a chance to ask.
Amy shifts her attention to Yana.
Your mother mentioned that it's taken you a while to get a field study approved.
Yes, that is correct. I understand that such things take time as professors want to ensure the study is a proper fit for the student, but I will admit that I am beginning to become impatient. Was the process for your field study equally taxing?
Yana shakes her head.
No, I actually got the first one I applied for.
Amy blinks, and her eyes grow wide.
You were accepted upon your first application?
Yeah,
She stares.
maybe the process is different for Mage Knights and Mage Casters.
Amy continues to stare. Leanna looks at me and I shrug.
Amy?
I do not understand. I have completed all the prerequisites necessary to apply for a field study. I have even attended supplementary training to increase my potential for the selection. For all intents and purposes, I should be the most ideal candidate for the mandatory field study.
Is it just your professor's recommendation that you need?
Correct, but I have been repeatedly told that the field study is not a good fit for me.
Whenever you start having your hand if she thinks.
Do you think it has something to do with your age?
Amy frowns.
My age should not be an eligibility factor. I have proven myself to be capable enough to study as a mage caster.
This is pretty strange. And they haven't given you a specific reason why you keep getting declined?
Mia shakes her head.
I am quite perplexed by the situation, especially now that I understand my difficulties are not standard.
I can feel the frustration behind her words. It sounds like the Academy has it out for her. I think she's only just started to realize that she's being treated differently. And it's probably because she's annoying as fuck. Well, that sucks. Sucks be you. I can't really know what to say in these kinds of I don't really know what to say in these kinds of situations. I don't know how their academy works, so I don't have any input to add. Usually when people vent, they just want someone to be sympathetic, right? Well, that sucks. Hopefully you'll get one soon. Leona smiles encouragingly.
I'm sure you will.
Amy looks pensive as the conversation dies down. Karnsek soon returned with bowls of food, which we quickly eat. As we push our empty bowls away, Kara drops a key into Leona's hand.
Okay, so here's a key to our room. You can go upstairs and lay low for the rest of the night. I'll go check the shops and grab an outfit for you.
She winks at Leona.
Don't worry, it'll still be cute.
Zack silently hands me a key for our room. What about the storm?
Oh, I'll be okay. Zach will come with me.
I didn't agree to this.
Kara feigns hurt.
You mean to say that you would let a young woman venture outside into the storm, in the middle of the night, in a dangerous city all on her own?
Zack's eyebrow twitches, but he tries to remain steadfast.
Guilt-tripping me won't work.
Who knows what sort of ruffians are walking the streets this late? If they were to get the jump on me, then...
Okay, fine. I'll go with you. Jeez.
He pushes himself to his feet. Kara grins widely.
I knew you'd come around.
I'm only doing this so you can't blame anything on me later.
Kara smells and drags Zack with her as they head towards the doors.
We'll be back soon.
We watch them exit in silence.
Well, I'm gonna call it a night.
As will I.
It's getting pretty late, and the thought of a real bed is very tempting after having to camp out for so many nights. I think I'll turn into you. Together we head upstairs, then split into our separate rooms. I relax in my bed for a while, enjoying the peacefulness of the night as I wait to fall asleep. The Pongo mysteriously emerges from somewhere and hops onto my bed. He bounces over and leans against me before finding a comfortable spot on my bed to sleep. I'm not sure how much time passes, but I eventually hear Zack return to the room and go to bed. I fall asleep not too long after. My footsteps in the hallway pull me awake. Blinking my eyes, I look around. The sun struggles to shine through the overcast sky making it hard to determine just what time it is. Judging by the noise from outside, I'm guessing it's well into the late morning or early afternoon. Zach's bed is empty, while the Pongo snores softly by my feet. He wakes up as I carefully crawl out of bed, and after blinking, bleary eyes grins widely at me.
Hi!
Good morning, Pongo. Or, I guess, good afternoon. Yawning widely, I push myself completely out of bed and get ready for the day. But once we don't have an agenda we need to follow while in this town, I wonder what the others are up to and what this city has to offer. Ready to go downstairs, the Pongo shies away and buries himself in my blankets.
Boy!
Oh, that's a weird reaction. You don't want to go exploring today?
Boy!
Pongo shakes his head. Alright, whatever. I shrug. It's not like it really makes a difference. If he comes or not, he'll just disappear again anyway. Leaving the Pongo alone, I exit my room and head for the stairs. Before I reach them, I hear a strange noise coming from above. Is there an attic in this place? I like that. Nope, I've seen horror films. So let's investigate. I tiptoe towards where I heard the noise and find a pull-down staircase, already lowered. I slowly begin to climb up. As I get closer, I recognize the noise as a series of hushed poise. Well, I definitely wasn't expecting this. The poise ceased as I put my head up into the attic. Sitting in front of a card table is a large Pongo. The pudgiest Pongo I've encountered yet, wearing a three-piece suit and sporting a pencil mustache. A cigar hangs from his mouth. Well, not really, but okay. Two Pongo thugs sit on either side of the table. Oh shit. They all freeze and stare at me. Too shocked to react, I stare back at them. After what feels like an eternity, the pudgy Pongo lowers his cigar. I better get out of here before he makes me a poifer I can't refuse. Silently, I lower myself out of the room and quickly head down the stairs. I think I know why my Pongo didn't want to leave the room today. I think it's best to pretend that never happened. Shaking my head, I go downstairs to the lobby. The lobby is as busy as it was the night before, with the same number of people filling the tables. I spot Zach exactly where I expected him to be, right in front of the bounty boards. Kara nurses a drink alone at one of the tables, but I don't see Liana or Amy anywhere. But Liana's in her room. Liana seemed pretty nervous last night. I wonder if she's still in her room. Making my way back upstairs, I knock on her door. After a moment, her voice calls out.
Who is it?
It's me.
Oh, hey.
There's a silence as I wait for her to open the door, but she doesn't. Is everything okay?
Yep. Everything's fine.
Okay. She sounds really distracted.
Sorry, I'm a little busy right now. Amy and I are kind of in the middle of something. Do you think you can come back later?
Okay, sure, whatever. So that's what I'm really gonna do. Sure, sorry to disturb you. That was kinda weird. I hope she isn't annoyed with me. Like, why do you care? I better leave her alone for now. And check in later if I have time. I'm good for now. I decide to spend the rest of my time alone. I relax at one of the tables by myself, observing the people and enjoying my free time. It's not too often that I can have some fun. And with the storm outside, I'm excited to feel a little lazy. It's still stormy? Jeez. The rest of the afternoon passes by uneventfully. With the dark clouds outside, it's hard to judge the time of day, but the sky seems to be darkening. Oh, did I read that? Oh, too late now. I wonder if Leanna's done with whatever she was doing earlier. I haven't seen her leave her room all day. I decide to see if she's free. As I approach her room, I knock on her door. Leanna? There's a pause, then a scuffling sound.
Yes?
You okay in there?
Yep. Fine.
Have you had a chance to look around yet? We could go check out the shop.
Well,
Oh, wait.
it's getting kind of late, isn't it? Might be better to stay inside.
Sure, do you want to come downstairs and we can get something to eat? There's a pause again.
You know, I'm not very hungry. I think I'll stay here for now. Thanks.
I narrow my eyes. Is it just me? Or is Yana acting a little weird? Are you sure everything's okay in there? Yana opens her door a crack and pokes her head out. Her smile is a little too bright.
Yep, just peachy. Sorry. I'm just feeling a little tired. Nothing to worry about.
She's about to close the door, but I push to keep it up as my scarf is caught in the doorway. Wait. I push on the door to yank my scarf out. The door swings wide open, revealing Liana's new outfit. Figured that's what it was. Oh well, like a freaking Princess Leia thing or something. She throws her arms around herself to cover up.
Don't look!
My jaw drops as I take in all of her outfit, what little of there is of it. Interesting choice. That's not really a style I'd have picked you for, but it's not too bad. Liana tries to cover as much as possible.
I didn't choose this! Kara brought this back for me.
Is this why you've been hiding in your room?
I can't go anywhere dressed like this. It's best if I just stay here until the storm is past.
It's really not that bad. Leon just gives me a look. If you don't like it, we can go to the shops and get you something else.
Okay, let me change and then we can go.
I thought you couldn't wear your regular armor.
I can't go out dressed like this though.
Your armor will draw more attention. At least this outfit helps you blend in. You look uncomfortable. Honestly, it isn't that bad. Besides, we know how long this storm is going to last. What if you have to spend days cooped up in that room? Leona frowns. She thinks about it and sighs.
I suppose you're right. Alright, we can go, but let's make it quick.
Getting her courage, Leona leaves the room, and the two of us head downstairs. Nobody pays us any extra attention as we exit the inn. I squint up at the thick clouds. There is light rain. We better hurry if we don't want to get caught in a downpour. We make our way down the alleyway. Leona still gets attention, although not the same as before. She seems annoyed by the sharp whistling from leering men. I wonder if I should step in.
Hey there, baby.
Creepster.
What did you call me?
Leona grabs the man by the collar and slams him against the wall.
What the hell?
Nice.
Go on, call me baby again. I dare you.
Leona's grip on the man's collar tightens as he's pinned securely against the wall. She must be using her wind magic to be able to keep a man twice her size immobilized with various struggle. Leona continues to watch him with challenging eyes, daring him to catcall her again. The man stays silent as he tries to break free. Leona finally lets go and tosses him to the side. He falls to the ground with a loud thud.
That's what I thought.
The man picks himself up and scrambles away.
You crazy bitch!
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't you forget it!
A crowd of spooked onlookers stare at Leona.
What are you looking at?
They quickly look away and resume walking. Satisfied, Leona looks at me with a smile.
Shall we continue?
Damn, Leona, you're scary. Remind me to never get on your bad side. Leona smirked. And you should already know not to get on your bad side from, like, all the other stuff seen or do. We continue down the street and reach the shops. Even though it's well into the evening, all the storefronts are still open. I guess this is one of those cities that never sleeps. Leona and I enter the first clothing shop we find. She browses the racks, but her face becomes more aghast with every outfit she picks up. She holds up a piece of fabric so short I can't figure out if it's supposed to be a top or a skirt.
I don't think we'll find anything here. Let's go somewhere else.
I follow Leona out of the store and to the next one. As she browses the section, she seems even more disappointed, as each outfit is skimpier than the next. After checking out a couple more shops with no luck, we enter the last shop on the street. Leona checks out the racks again, then tracks down the shopkeeper.
Excuse me. Do you have any armor?
Absolutely.
He rummages through the clothing before pulling out what is essentially just a metal bra and thong. Leona can't hide her horror as the shopkeeper smiles triumphantly.
Here you go.
How is that armor?
What do you mean? It's metal. That means it can protect you.
But what about the rest of me?
He is about to retort, but as if speechless as her words sink in.
You know, I'd never even thought about that before.
Do you have anything with a little more coverage?
Shopkeeper returns to the box and picks out another metal bra and underwear.
How about this?
How is that better?
Well,
Ugh, I am so done with this place!
realizing that there's a fruitless search, Rihanna fumes out of the shop and I follow close behind. She looks down at her outfit and sighs.
It's hard to believe, but I think Kara picked out the most modest outfit available in this place.
Looks like it.
I guess she knows me a little better than I thought.
As we pass a darkened storefront on our way back to the inn, two men mount from the shadows and approach us.
Excuse me, are those manipulators on your wrist?
He and I glance at each other, then back at the men.
Why do you ask?
Second man speaks.
We have an offer which may be interesting to you.
Exactly. As magic users, power in your craft is essential. Luckily for you, we happen to know a secret technique to amplify your casting usage to your fullest potential, no matter the skill level.
What's the technique? The first man handed me a card. The Den of Wolfston is written in curly letters.
Meet us at that location tomorrow morning, and all will be revealed.
Liana narrows her eyes.
How do we know this is legitimate?
Your skepticism is understandable, but we've gone through this exact training and can personally guarantee results.
You're mages? Where are your manipulators?
I glance at their empty wrist. Liana brings up a good point.
Right here.
He lifts his hand and points it to the crystal inlaid ring on his finger. Liana's mouth drops open in surprise, but she quickly composes herself.
Your manipulator is a ring?
The man flashes the same mysterious grin.
Be there tomorrow morning and all will be revealed.
So this is either like a marketing scam or like dark magic again. They hand Liana a card too and disappear back into the alley. Liana watches them retreat, a stern look on her face. You've got solicitors in this world too. It really is impossible to escape them. She barely seems to register what I'm saying. Liana? She blinks.
Huh?
That was pretty weird, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
I begin to throw the card away when Liana stops me.
Wait! We need that!
We do?
How else will we find them tomorrow morning?
Wait, we're going to meet those guys? Do you believe that, snake oil? Don't tell me you believe all of that nonsense.
Of course not, but I'm sure other people have believed it. We should check out what it is they're offering, and if it even works.
I shake my head. There's no way it would work.
I know, but we should go just in case. Besides, there's no way those rings are actual manipulators. It's impossible to condense the amount of energy needed for casting into such a tiny crystal. Something doesn't add up.
It does seem a little too good to be true. She nods and pockets the card. The crack of thunder grabs us. We should get...
Yeah.
and Zack at the table, and we join them. Zack smirks when he sees Kauna.
Nice outfit.
Kauna's cheeks flush.
I don't want to talk about it.
Kara gets white.
Oh, don't be shy. You've got to own it.
Kauna's blush deepens, and she quickly changes the subject.
We were just out and ran into some strange men promising us unimaginable power.
She pulls out their card and places it on the table.
They said to meet them there tomorrow.
Zack and Kara study it.
I've never seen this before.
I have. They recruited me too.
Yeah, wings.
But you aren't a mage. They were looking for magic casters. Why did they recruit you?
Something about being a valuable asset? I wasn't really listening.
We're going to go meet them tomorrow morning.
Same here.
What, really? Leona looks equally surprised.
Sure,
Why? I thought you weren't listening.
I wasn't. But from what I did hear, it sounds like a scam for money. Money which should be liberated from them for the greater good.
Why am I not surprised?
Alright, let's meet up there tomorrow morning and go together.
Zack nods. As if on cue, Amy joins the group.
Greetings. Have we all gathered here to partake in supper?
That's a pretty good idea. I could go for some food.
I nod. Same here. We order some food and sit together to eat. We eat. Leona looks so silently. Looks intently from Kara to Leona. Leona shifts uncomfortably.
Is there something wrong, Amy?
There seems to be an undeniable trend in the clothing both you and Kara are wearing. Perhaps I should be wearing something similar.
Kara becomes stern.
We need to have a talk about what is and isn't appropriate for you to wear, young lady.
The irony of that statement is not lost on me.
I shrug while the rest of the team fusses over Amelia. There's no way I'm going to get in the middle of that. Once the team has come down and talked Amy out of purchasing an outfit, we finish the rest of our meals. Leona reminds Zack to meet downstairs in the morning, and we all retire to bed. After getting changed, I fall into my bed and drift to sleep. In the afternoon, I wake up to an unaccustomed brightness. Blinking my eyes open, I glance outside and notice an absence of clouds. Looks like the storm is finally past. Zack's bed is empty, and even the pongo is missing. I guess I'm the last one up, considering it's already midday. I hurry out of my bed and rush to get ready, then head downstairs. The team is already there, gathered around the table. They greet me as I arrive. Looks like the storm is past.
Correct. Which means we are able to resume our journey to Allendale.
Not exactly. We've still got some unfinished business. We have to meet up with those men to learn the secret to unimaginable power.
Alright, those 2 men from yesterday.
Ready to go?
I suppose so. Leona stands as well, but Kara and Amy stay put. Are you two coming?
The invitations were not extended to us.
Yeah, plus I think it's a mage or crystal specific thing, so that leaves me out. we'll stick around here and see what else we can dig up and meet you guys when you're done.
It's probably for the best. Yeah, like the... Liana, Zack, and I exit in. Studying the address on the cards given to us, we eventually come across a nondescript mention. Cautiously, we knock on the front door. There's no response. Since they were looking for mages only, Liana does a radio scan. From the blank door, a hidden message appears. It indicates to go around the back entrance, but only when the sun has fully set. We decide to spend our time scouting out the locations for all the different exits and get as much of the floor plan as we can figured out, just in case. By the time we are done, our extensive we have done our extensive mapping. It is evening. We circle around the house to a plain wooden door. We knock twice, and the door swings open. Winnie Wiley is one of the men who recruited us yesterday. He ushers us in through the door and into the foyer, where a handful of people mill about. I take in the marble staircase and pristine tiles. Some people sit on the leather couches as we wait for whatever is supposed to happen to begin. Bright light spills into the room and reflects off the crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling. The room looks more expensive than my entire house back home. I'd never have guessed it from the plain exterior of the house. After a few more minutes, a man with slick back hair approaches with open arms and a shining grin.
Welcome!
The room quiets down into silence as he greets us.
I'm sure you're all wondering why you've been invited here today. It's because our expert talent scouts spotted a commonality within all of you, an unmistakable ability, a mastery of the elements.
A few people sneak glances around the room. I look at Kauna, who is watching the speaker intently. Zack crosses his arms, his expression unreadable.
We too share this gift, and we too hungered for power. We spent hours upon hours honing our craft, showing painstakingly slow progress before we were introduced to the secret techniques we hope to share with you today. My friends, if you wish to become the most powerful casters in this area, then you have come to the right place. But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. These techniques are dangerous and are not for the faint of heart. Failure can lead to dire consequences, and in order for us to continue, I need absolute assurance that you are all ready to face those consequences. If anyone is having second thoughts, now is the moment when you can walk out of here with no hard feelings.
A couple of people turn around and head back towards the door, but the majority of the group, which is still a small number of around 10 people, decide to stay.
I admire all of your courage, but I'm not surprised by your decision.
The doorway to the left of the room cracks open, and a man points in that direction.
The beginning of your training is in the next room. Please proceed through the doors and our training leader will meet you there.
The murmurings fill the silence as people begin to exit the room. As Helen begins to pass, the strange man from before sidles up to her and lowers his voice.
So, the guild finally caught wind of this, eh?
Yellow masks her surprise and keeps her voice even.
I'm not sure what you mean.
He chuckles and nudges her.
It's alright. You can trust me. I'm actually Broodman.
He pauses it, waiting for our recognition, but we merely stare blankly at him.
Broodman? The Silent Protector? Tamer of the Wolves at Wolf's Den?
Again, we make no notion of recognition.
Well, either way, we're on the same side. I know that these guys are dangerous, and I've got a plan in place to stop them.
How do you know they're dangerous? Do you know what their secret technique is?
Broodman wiggles his eyebrows knowingly.
Right, playing innocent to keep up your facade. I understand.
He winks.
Look, I was planning on taking these guys down alone, but having a member of the Mage Guild as backup would ensure the downfall of these guys. What do you say? Are you in?
Leona frowns.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He winks.
All right. You won't budge.
He taps his nose and then fixes his attention on Zack.
I'll just pretend I didn't see the mage emblem when you first entered Wolf's Den. What about you?
His voice trails off as Zack stares him down with his unblinking gaze. Broodman seems unfazed. I think they should probably, move along now. This could get suspicious. Broodman's gaze lands on me and he quickly shifts focus.
How about you?
I do like to deal hand of justice. I lower my voice to a raspy whisper. I understand, brethren. Like you, I too am a silent protector and watchful guardian. They call me the Dark Knight. Oh wow, okay, great. I love these references. Leona shoots me a warning look, but Broodman looks intrigued. We hear shuffling, and I notice most of the people have fled out of the room by now.
We should get going
File.
before they get suspicious.
Like I was saying. Broodman nods, and we follow the others out of the room and into an evening courtyard. The courtyard is surrounded on all sides by walls, which upon further inspection are hallways connecting the different wings of the mansion. Because we're enclosed within the mansion, we're guaranteed privacy. So I feel like since they're kind of setting it up to be a dark magic thing, it's probably just a money scam. Because that is comedy.
Listen up! I know what they promised you back there, and I know they made it sound like all of you, as long as you try, will be able to learn the technique for power. But they're wrong! Only those of you strong enough to handle that amount of magic will be successful, and that's where I come in. I'm here to test your proficiency with magic, and if this technique is something you can even handle.
A few staff members who were standing on the sidelines come over and begin passing out manipulators. When they reach Zack, the staff member notices his lack of manipulator and looks at him in confusion. Zack... Huh? Zack doesn't react or bother to take the manipulator from his hands either.
He passes.
The train leader walks by, and as his gaze falls on Zack, discharges. His expression changes. He turns to the staff with the manipulator and urges him to move on. The staff member begins to protest, but the train leader stops him.
He passes. I know you all have your own manipulators, but I don't care. Use ours anyway. The goal of this isn't to show off who has the fanciest gadgets. It's to eliminate any variables so we can get a more accurate read on your abilities. Now, who wants to go first?
One person steps up and attempts to cast a gale, but his nerves makes his arm unsteady and he keeps losing focus.
Enough.
The train leader shakes his head and the man hangs his head. The staff members see the man out of the courtyard as the next person steps up. One by one they go until it's my turn. My blood runs cold as clammy sweat covers my body.
Let's go. We haven't got all day.
I close my eyes and breathe deeply. I can do this, just remember my training. Once my hands steady, I raise my arm and channel a gust of wind as I've done so many times before. I picture Liana watching and encouraging me, and sure enough a gust of wind flows through my fingers. The training leader frowns, unimpressed, but the staff member who took my energy reading races over to his side. I'm pretty sure I can guess what's going on. They took a scan that said my energy levels are off the charts, and yet somehow my casting skill does not equal the energy I possess.
Pass. For now.
I nod. The train leader calls Liana forward, and I take this time to switch out my manipulator back to my own. She takes a deep breath, gathers her energy, and raises her arm. Her blue eyes almost turn gray as a gale storm whips the trees in the courtyard. Liana's hair flies around her, but she's unsteady in the tempest, her gaze challenging the training leader. He raises his hand, and instantly, as she summoned it, Liana ceases the storm.
Pass.
As a few people pick themselves off the ground, or dust themselves off, Liana returns to the group. You blew me away. Hey. Nice. Dang girl, you really blew me away with that display. Liana grunts. You threw caution to the wind and went all out.
You should stop.
But making these are such a breeze.
I'm leaving now.
Wait, I'm done, I promise. They continue to move through the test, Zack silently sinks over and joins us as Liana surreptitiously switches back to her manipulator and does a scan of her own. She frowns at the results and lowers her voice so I can barely hear her.
I'm getting the same strange absence of energy reading that we got back at Stonecrest.
Do you think this has something to do with Void? She nods, her expression grave. The guard approaches Liana and she quickly puts on a smile.
Ma'am, I have a message from the site commander. He wishes to meet you.
Oh?
In his private quarters.
Oh.
For once she can't hide her surprise. The guard leaves momentarily as he goes to speak with the training leader. Liana turns to us.
We need to figure a way out of this. There's no way I'm going into the commander's private quarters.
You have to.
What?
Quiet!
Liana lowers her voice, but her tone is just as stern.
Do you have any idea what an invitation to his private quarters means?
Of course I do. And that's why you need to go. This is your chance to get inside and find out if this is a part of Void's operation like you suspect.
She frowns.
There must be another way.
Probably. But not on such short notice without an all-access pass to the most secure place in the entire mansion.
Liana remains quiet as Zack's words sink in, and she grunts.
You're right. This is the perfect opportunity.
What about us?
We'll find a way inside and catch up with Liana. When you get to his quarters, make sure you leave the door unlocked so we can get in.
I will. But you two better hurry up. I do not want to be alone with him longer than I need to.
The train leader looks annoyed and waves the guard away. We fall silent as he returns to Like Liana, she throws us one last warning look before leaving. So, how are we gonna sneak in?
We need a distraction.
As Zack and I scan our surroundings, a hand falls on my shoulder.
Don't worry, I've got this.
Got what?
He just winks at us as he enters the center of the courtyard. The train leader looks amused as Brynwood enters the testing space, unprompted, but doesn't stop him. Brynwood stands perfectly still and takes an exaggerated breath and slowly breathes it out. He readies his arm in front of him and summons a glowing fireball in his hand. As he aims it straight in front of him, it was only then I noticed he'd strategically placed himself so he was facing a large tree. That's smart. He'd ignite the tree accidentally as part of his proficiency testing. Brugman takes another deep breath, and just as he's about to let the fireball fly, he sneezes hard. The fireball misdirects and catches on his clothes. He yelps as the flames lap at his clothes and drops to the ground and rolls, but instead of extinguishing the flames, the grass ignites where he rolls. Soon the courtyard is amok with shrieking voices and running what? Bodies? What am I even witnessing? Zack pulls me aside.
Now's our chance.
I nod and the two of us step through the same door we saw Liana go through. We enter a brightly lit corridor and try our best to blend in and stick to the few shadows in the room. We manage to escape the corridor without incident and reach another open hallway. A guard stands in the center of the room, making his rounds. Zack signals for me to stay back and sneaks up on the guard. I stay back and give Zack space. He has far more experience in this sort of thing than I do, so I'm happy to follow his lead. As he gets close, he jumps the guard and covers his mouth as he disarms him. I rush over and help him secure the guard into a more hidden alcove. He struggles as we place him in a chair. I hold him down as Zack approaches him.
Where are the commander's quarters?
I'll never tell.
Zack grins as he cracks his knuckles.
Ah, good.
Good?
I was hoping you'd resist. It makes interrogation so much more fun.
The guard resumes his struggles, but I continue to hold him down. Zack slowly approaches, and I see the fear creep into the guard's eyes.
Hold on a second.
Zack doesn't stop. He puts his hand into a fist. The guard looks at me with panic in his eyes.
I'll talk. Just get that crazy guy away from me.
Zack frowns but stops looking towards him.
The commander's quarters are right down this hall, and then a left at the next fork. His is the last room down that corridor.
That's all we needed. Thanks.
With one knockout punch, the guard falls unconscious and the two of us hurry off. As we turn down the hall, I face Zack. I'm surprised that was so easy. Zack sighs.
I know. How disappointing.
I look blankly at Zack. Okay then. We sneak through the corridors and remain unspotted as we follow the guard's instructions. We recognize the commander's quarters immediately and see the two heavy mahogany doors at the end of the hall are slightly ajar. Why are there no guards in front of the quarters? Isn't it suspicious?
Not if the commander's got a woman in his room.
Fair point. We step into the room and are immediately greeted by a frenzy of whispers from Liana.
Oh, finally! You guys sure took your sweet time.
calm down. We got here as quickly as we could.
Where's the commander? Leona points at a locked door that must be the bathroom.
He went to freshen up.
She shudders, Zack crosses his arms.
Okay, then what are you doing just standing around here for? Get in a position.
What position?
Zack points to the bed and Leona fails.
You can't be serious!
Do you want to jeopardize this operation or what?
How would posing on the bed help with this operation?
Because while he's very distractedly approaching the bed, we'll be able to knock him out from behind, quick and quiet, and not alerting any guards.
Leona sighs, then lacklusterly climbs onto the bed. She lays down on her side and props her head with her arm.
Like this?
Oh, this'll be gay. Let me show you how it's done. I shake my head. Leona, move over. She moves off the bed and I take her place. I lay down on my back and swing one arm over my head as I raise one knee up. Whoa. This is what you should be doing. She tries to hold in her laughter as I move off the bed. Zack frowns.
No, that's not right at all. You have to be more inviting.
Zack lounges on his stomach and bends his legs up at the knee as he rests his head in one of his hands.
This is the most effective pose.
Are you kidding me? You look like you're sunbathing at the beach. That's not alluring at all.
You don't know what you're talking about, woman.
I think I'd know a thing or two more about flirting than you would.
Oh, please enlighten me, sailor.
Leona's face flushes at the memory. She's about to argue when the door to the bathroom flings open. A looming man stands in front of the door in nothing more than a too revealing speedo.
Apologies for the delay, my sweet. I wanted to make sure that I was in.
He freezes when he sees Zack on the bed. And for a moment, nobody moves.
All right, before we begin fighting, I have a really important question.
Zack mimics Leona's original pose.
Is this attractive?
The commander's face turns red with rage.
No!
Thank you, that's exactly what I said.
Well, it would have been attractive if I were doing it.
I'd agree to that if anyone cares about my opinion. The commander roars out in anger. Zack rolls off the bed and withdraws his dischargers in one smooth motion as Leona's mandibular glows. I pull out my sword and ready a fighting stance. The commander glares at us.
Do you really think that a bunch of amateurs can take out someone as powerful as I? You fools will regret ever crossing paths with a Shadow General.
He raises his arms and readies a stance, and his face falls to the veils as he realizes he's naked.
Oh, shit.
Zack shoots a blast which knocks the commander down. He smashes his head against the dresser and falls to the ground with a heavy thud. Leona rushes to check him, her sword at the ready, but he's knocked out cold. I sheath my blade. That was easy.
They aren't so tough without their magic.
Leona has her mandibular out and performs a scan.
He said he was a Shadow General. That just confirms that this has something to do with Void.
She suddenly focuses on an area in the floor. Prying up the floorboard, we find a large bag filled with dark spheres. Oh. I guess it really is then.
Tainted spheres.
Definitely void.
We can't leave the spheres here. We have to take them.
We'll be too conspicuous lugging this bag around.
But it would be even more dangerous to leave them here for them to use.
Also, what should we do with the Shadow General? Just leave him here? Shucks. Suddenly, the window crashes open. We ready ourselves for another battle, but we recognize the figure as Broodman. He dusts himself off and heads straight for the commander.
Finally, we meet again.
Broodman doesn't seem to notice we're there as he continues addressing the commander.
For all these years, I have slowly unraveled everything you've worked so hard to build. I have been that splinter that you just can't pull out. And now I am here to finish what I have started. For I am Broodman. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
He frowns as the commander doesn't react.
And even now, you won't give me the decency of even acknowledging my presence.
He moves in to kick the commander when we stop him.
Hey, wait! He's unconscious!
Broodman pauses.
Ah, yes, of course. He was so intimidated by my speech that he passed out in fear.
That's not what... Broodman strides to the commander and seemingly with effort hauls him over his shoulder.
Don't worry, I'll take it from here.
He launches the commander out the newly opened window. What the hell?
We're on the second floor!
Oh.
We rush to the window. A fall from the second level may not be fatal, but it could still break a few bones. Luckily, the commander landed on a bush and looks unscathed. Broodman crosses his arms triumphantly.
All according to plan, my friends.
He climbs back to the window and lands on his feet beside the commander, then takes him away into the night. We pause as we let all of that sink in.
We should get out of here before we attract too much attention.
Liana nods. She carries the bag of tainted spirits as naturally as she can and pushes open the doors. There are two guards now stationed in front of the commander's quarters, and they give us questioning looks as the three of us step out, careful to close the door behind us.
Where is the commander?
Please don't disturb him. He's all tuckered out from our certain activities.
She winks. The guard clears his throat uncomfortably.
Right, I understand.
The second guard looks suspiciously at Zach and me.
Hold on. What about you two?
Oh, don't worry. We took part in those activities. I wink and try to hold back my laughter at their horrified expressions.
Would you like us to elaborate?
Nope, not necessary. You may go.
Zach grins as the three of us waltz out of the corridor. Because the commander had made it clear what his intentions were with Liana, we had no trouble with any of the guards milling about and were able to exit the mansion unquestioned. Once we were safely outside, we raced back to the inn. Bursting through the doors, we very urgently scoop up Amy and Kara.
Greetings upon your safe return. I assume your endeavors were successful.
Somewhat.
Yep, everything's great, but we should really be getting a move on now. We'll fill you in on the details later.
Amira looks surprised, but Kara notices the bag Liana carries and urges Amy.
Sounds good. We've been itching to get out of here anyway. Come on, Amy. Let's go grab our things and head out. The sooner we're out of here, the closer we'll be to Ellendale.
Amy shrugs and follows Kara upstairs to grab their things. Once they return downstairs, they depart. As we leave Wilston, I spot the former dark visage of Broodman. Beside him is a woman wearing a hooded green cloak She carries a large bow on her back. What are they doing? I step away from the group and step closer to Broodman, making sure to stay hidden from their view. The woman has braided long white hair, and fine lines trace her tan skin. Broodman nods.
The deed has been done. Void's operation here will crumble without their commander. Wolf's Den need fear the shadows no longer.
The woman nods in satisfaction. Suddenly, her gaze sights me. I freeze, unable to move. What do I do? Broodman notices her gaze and looks at me. He flashes me a broad smile and gives me a thumbs up. The woman's face is partially hidden behind a scarf. She nods slowly, approvingly. Then she abruptly turns and leaps up. She scales the wall and disappears onto the rooftop, silent and graceful, like a cat. Broodman pulls himself up using his brute strength before following closely behind. At least I know he's doing okay. I catch up with my friends as we continue out of the gates of Wolfston. Once we're on the road, Leona and I fill the rest of the team in on what happened. After traveling as swiftly as we can for the rest of the evening, we decide to make camp. Okay, so I think that is where we're gonna end the stream tonight. Because as you may have noticed, my voice is getting a little strained and I need to stop talking. So yeah, so with that, if you liked what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the bell for notifications, share the streams. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, all at Bruce Jinx. Check my Twitch schedule for when I may be streaming, and check my Twitter for any last minute changes to the streams. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and hope to see you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!